Oops. Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino, and joining me is my buddy James Hansen. Amanda is kind of busy right now, so it's just me and James kicking it tonight. And we had stuff going on last week, so we're going to cover episode 8 and 9 of Survivor 42. Uh, episode 8 was the double tribal, double immunity wins, and it was an eventful episode, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, even if we just talked about last week's, there'd be enough to talk about. But the fact we're talking about both, tonight we got a lot going on, and there's a lot of players I really like left. So I mean, this should be fun. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so we pretty much start out like we just go right to the immunity challenge. Like they split up in the tribes.
No time before the challenge, like
Yeah,
straight
no
to
time,
it.
no right to it, and it's where they're balancing into the water, and I want to say like half of them fall in like
A
two
minute.
2 seconds. Like this is
Like,
ridiculous.
yeah, the only people who did decent in it were High, Romeo, Lindsay, and Jonathan. So like High and Romeo were on one side, and then Jonathan, Lindsay on the other, like 5 people. And I mean, Romeo even didn't do that well. He did better than most of them, but he still dropped decently early. But like the conditions were tough for this, so like I mean,
Yeah,
it would not have been easy to stay up. But so High wins immunity for his 5 like right away, and then pretty much we got a battle with Jonathan and Lindsay, and like Jonathan's so strong, like you see a few times where he just saves himself when
yeah,
it looks like he's about to tip over. But
and that
ultimately, Jonathan gets his first individual immunity win, and High has individual immunity win, and then Jonathan wins food for his 5 because he came in first overall. But
so the fives are it's Jonathan, Lindsay, Marianne, Drea, and Tori on one side.
yep,
And on this side, it is Roxroy, Omer, Romeo,
Mike,
High, and Mike.
and Mike, yeah,
And early and like right at the beginning of the episode, Romeo and High get into it. So it's like it's leading into like Romeo going home, and then they switch up the tribes, and it's Romeo on the bottom. So it's like you see that tribe originally, like, oh man, it's gonna be it's gonna be Romeo.
So
We
I'm just gonna get ahead a little, not too
Yeah.
far, but like at a certain point, like at the merge, Romeo is like so far on the bottom. But at this point, now with 7 people left, and he's still there, like now he's just gonna be used as a vote for the rest of the game. Like he's got no chance to
They're not
win.
even using him for a vote. He's literally
He's
voting
still voting
off
the
almost
wrong
every
way,
time.
but they're not getting rid of him because they know like he was next in the pecking order, and they got rid of other people before him because he has no chance to win. Like you told me earlier, like no chance of winning.
No chance of winning. And it sucks because he was doing so good on his original
Good.
tribe.
I liked him in the pre-merge, and then
Yeah.
at the merge, he just got paranoid, and like all the people who actually wanted to work with him don't want to work with him anymore, and it's like it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah.
you want to talk about these 2 5-person tribals we had for that night, because pretty much last week's episode was all like you said, the challenge was really early, and then it was all like a lot of strategy talk between both the 2 5s that had to go tribal separately.
Yeah, so we did also get before we went to the challenge, we did get Roxroy going up to Mike. Was it Mike and
And
Jonathan,
Jonathan,
and was like,
yeah,
let's do a guy thing with us 3, Omer and High.
yeah,
And and
didn't include Romeo, but
Dan Crew Romeo, but he went to go talk to those other guys, and he said, "These you guys are the only guys I trust." Mike and Jonathan were all about it. They're all bro down, all about it. But both High and Omer is like, does it look
not,
like I need to be like want to go to Final Five with Jonathan and Mike? Like, I'm not gonna win
yeah,
immunity.
yeah,
So that's leading up to the tribe split. But yeah, the tribes. So we predicted last week or the week before this was that we were going to get one easy slash boring vote and one blindside. We were kind of right, but they were both kind of crazy
They're
for
different though,
for
but yeah,
yes.
yeah,
We were ultimately correct on like kind of the people going. Like Tory kind of is a quote unquote boring vote, and but Roxroy was definitely a blindside, but getting to the Tory was not
yeah.
a
So
boring round.
I'll say like we said either Tori or Romeo go, and then one person that was in the majority the last like week or two. Even though Roxroy, the Chanel vote, just voted however he wanted. Like he was never in a power position, but he wasn't really like he shot himself in the foot. He wasn't really in danger of being like the one to go home. Like he wasn't on people's like radars really.
Yeah.
Whereas we knew Tori or Romeo would go, but like we said, the other one be more unpredictable. But I was a little surprised it was Roxroy. But after seeing like the way he played it, no,
Oh
like
yeah.
he I would have voted him out that night too.
Let's just go to their camp. The Roxroy literally says, looks like some of these guys, and like, we don't even need to go talk, right? We're good. Everything's good. And everybody's just kind of looking around. And before they did the challenge, Omer and Hy were like, maybe we should get rid of Roxroy. Like,
Yeah,
and then so they start talking, and they're like, I kind of want to get rid of Rox. And they're like, I kind of want to get rid of Rox. And so they start talking, and they're like, okay, we could probably do this. Um, because Romeo will definitely do it because what's his alternative? Go home. So John and then the real hurdle was Mike because Mike was like, I gave Rox my word. I don't want to
they
do
didn't
it.
even need Mike, but I feel like Mike is trusted enough where they didn't want to leave him out of the plan. So like
Mhm.
Mike ultimately made the decision like I don't love it because Roxroy trusts me, but like I'm not gonna go against it because I'm not voting 3-2 and being the only guy left on like the wrong side of numbers. So
Look,
like Mike,
Roxroy is a tough person to swing around with
oh
and then try.
he's a pain in the ass. I think.
He's definitely somebody like if you have the majority and you feel really comfortable, he's the perfect ally. But somebody like Omer and High looking at it like, look, we gotta eventually vote off the big guys. Roxroy won't do that. And so that's why they ultimately decided to go Rocks was because he wanted to stick with Jonathan and Mike.
Yeah, and he was like so. I mean, basically, Highs and Omer's sell to Romeo was like he wants this all guys alliance that you're not a part of. And as soon as Romeo heard that, he's like, okay, vote them
Yeah.
out. And it was more beneficial for High and Omer at that point to vote out Rocks uh, rather than to vote out Romeo. So I mean, it
Yeah.
made sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was a good move.
Yeah. And look, okay, so Jeff has gotten so good at doing this and Survivor as a whole, adding the person as a big dum dum at
Yeah.
tribal. To put it in layman's terms, they pretty much Rox had so much time at tribal. Like he had so many questions. Like I've never heard this man speak so much in one segment as that whole tribal segment. He got asked like 4 questions, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not even worried." And things. I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh, that's the
he
first
was so
sign."
blindsided. Yeah.
That's the first sign. If Jeff is asking you all these questions, you better keep your. I'll be like, "Oh man, is it me?" Like that's the first sign.
So I've noticed with the editing recently too, like this episode. So is when the challenge was over, the immunity challenge, they had a mic confessional that was like saying like I got 4-1 numbers. Like Romeo is like easily going home. Like it's gonna be that
Yeah,
easy. And like if they say that early on the episode that person probably is not going home.
right.
Is like
It's
what I'm
never that
thinking.
easy.
Yeah.
It's never that easy. So
Yeah.
Rox is blindsided. Chanel's blindsided on the jury, and it's fun to see a blindside. And
Yeah.
let's face it, Roxroy had zero chance of winning. Probably maybe
Oh,
okay.
he would have been a zero vote finalist if he got.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He might have got 1 vote. He might have got a sympathy
I
vote
don't
somewhere.
know.
But so he goes to jury, and then the second tribal walks in, and everybody assumed they had a conversation at that camp and said, "Oh, it's Romeo for sure." There's no way
Yeah,
it's not
everybody
Romeo.
thought that. Yeah, and rightfully so, but also like I understand their reasons for getting rid of Rocks because I think he was super bossy and just wasn't really a likable guy. So
Yeah, yeah, that
like I
definitely comes
mean,
back to bite him.
I think he dug his own grave, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh, so seeing everybody's face walking in tribal really shook everybody. And before that, Jonathan tries to make this big power move. He has
Oh yeah,
immunity, so
we
he's
got to
like,
talk about that. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, I got this, guys. This is the time for me to make a move. I can't do it too aggressively because I'm the big guy. But then he does it ultra aggressively, which is contradicting what he
Tell
said.
pretty much tell everybody. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
it
get
goes,
rid of Drea,
yeah. And he
who
goes,
has a bazillion advantages.
which is fine. It's fine. But all you have to do is tell Drea, the person that she's been trying to get out for like 4 rounds, it's Tori. Hey, it's
Yeah,
Tori. Not a big deal. But he wants to
you said
tell her,
Marianne, right?
Marianne, right?
Yeah,
It's so dumb. And like, if she plays her idol, guess who goes home? Marianne, or she wastes her idol because he's like, oh, we're gonna be 4-4. Marianne's gonna have an extra vote. Her idol, we're gonna be killing it. Da da da. But she's like, but Lindsay goes to Jonathan was like, but what if Drea plays her idol? Then Marianne has to waste her idol. It's like,
so I just think so. Like Jonathan, obviously he's played a pretty damn good game so far, but he's had a few like strategic moments where I think he's just lacked. Like I think
I
like
think these last two episodes really lowered his stock for me.
yeah,
They really showed the
I
chink in his
agree.
armors the
I
last two
agree. I
episodes.
never, even when he's playing like better socially and better strategically, I never really thought he had a great chance to win. But his chances of winning are way lower for me now after these last two episodes. But I also think though, like it was just that telling like them that it's Marianne or trying to tell Drea that it's Marianne when
Yeah.
obviously like Tori's like the one who should go, and then telling Marianne that like, oh, I'm telling Drea that we're gonna vote for you and stuff like that. Like that made me scratch my head a little
It's
bit.
it's so dumb. It's literally she's a part of your original tribe. Why throw your original tribe member under the bus? And she was your ally. So
Yeah,
why would you throw her under the bus when you don't have to? You have Tori sitting right there. You could just say it's Tori, tell Dre it's Tori, and just tell Tori like, hey, we're doing Drea. Don't say anything. And
and
you know what? You be honest with you, you don't even gotta tell Tori.
no, because with how this game is, like with the pre-merge at least, you like they all know who have the like idols, so you're taking like a very slim chance that Tori found like a post-merge idol. Whereas
Right.
like if you're out there with her, you probably know she's not the one fucking finding the idol. So
Yeah.
yeah, like
Me personally, this is how I would have played it. I would have pulled Marianne and Lindsay and said, "Hey guys, what's Blindside Drea? Let's just tell Drea's
oh,
Tori."
I would have tried to blindside her too. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah. I was just tell her it's Tori. Let's not say anything to Tori. If Tori asks us, we don't know what we're gonna do. And then and then this way, Tori's on her hair. She has no idea that they're gonna blindside Drea. It doesn't leak to Drea. Tori feels uncomfortable because she feels like it's her, and so Drea feels extra comfortable. And then, but like she caught wind of it when Jonathan said something stupid to the person that's holding the idol. I want to flush out the idols, so I
yeah.
want to vote Marianne. It's
That
like
was a
bro, like you're playing it all wrong. You have the numbers, so why do you even have to tell them what you're doing? Like Tori didn't need to know. You could just said, "I don't know, Tori. We don't know what we're gonna do," and just tell Drea, "Hey, we're doing Tori," and you three vote Drea, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. Um,
all
but
right. So you
go
want to
ahead.
talk about like the problem there was
Yeah,
at Rivals?
yeah, we
Me
have
me
to
too
at least touch
about it.
around it.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand where Marianne and Treya were coming from. Like a lot of African American people on the show have been oppressed and have been voted out early. But I do think like all right, so I think Chanel was voted out because she just didn't have many people with her, and Roxroy was voted out more for being like a bully slash misogynist rather than because he was black. I just I think there should have been more context to it, but I do understand how I'm a straight white male, so I have to understand I can't put myself in
Right.
Drea or Marianne's shoes, and
We have to look at it like
yes,
they didn't see what happened. They don't know
exactly,
why Roxroy is voted off. They
exactly.
literally find out walking into tribal.
Yep.
And Drea just lost her number one ally.
Mhm.
She sees another. She sees nothing but African Americans on
Yep.
the jury,
And I get
and
that.
and
Yep.
she had.
Totally.
We have even recent seasons of history of this happening in IOI. We had three in a row.
Yep.
We had we had Jamal, right? That was his name.
Jamal, Missy, and
And
Aaron.
Aaron. And Missy and
Yep.
Aaron went at the double.
Yep.
And the plan was to do Drea, and Marianne was the backup plan. So those
And
two girls had,
in that season, even I'll bring up IOI. The first boot was a black guy, the
yeah,
Aaron, and
yeah,
then in season 41, the first boot was Eric Abraham, another African
yeah,
American. Yeah,
yeah.
I could
So it's
understand their frustration. Yeah.
right. And I I understand. And they made it very clear at tribal. They said, look, we're not calling anybody racist. We
Yep.
just
Yeah.
feel uncomfortable. We feel like we have. Andrea's like, I'm playing my idol because I feel like I can't let this be a trend. She said, like nobody's doing it on purpose, but like we're not calling you racist. She looked at Johnson like, look, I am not calling you racist. I love you. I think you're a great person, but I have to break this trend. So I'm going to play my idol. And Marianne said, look, we talked about race. I don't want to think, I want anybody to think that I got here because I said that. So I'm playing my idol. So I'm safe. So they both made a statement saying they're saving themselves and they're not using the card to save them.
Yeah, and I'm not totally upset by that at all. I especially Drea, very smart to play her idol in that situation, especially since she has a fucking another one.
Hmm.
And then Marianne, I mean, you're not if there's only five people, someone has immunity, 1 in 3 chance you go home. Your name could come up. Yeah, I'm not hesitating. I'd rather waste one than go home with one in my pocket. So I
Right.
don't blame her either.
Right. And we're watching Marquesas right now.
Yeah,
We literally had a scene with them with them with
Sean and Versepia.
yeah, Sean and Vesepia talking about on the beach and said, "Hey, we don't want to stick around too long because we don't want to be pinpointed as the two black people getting together."
Yeah,
So like this has been ongoing thing since the beginning of
for
Survivor.
22 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
long the
So
show's been on. But yeah,
So
so
I understand what they're coming from, and I understand. And she made sure, Drea made sure she was clear. Marianne made sure it was clear. Marianne's like, look, I'm not voting for Drea this round. She didn't say she was going to vote forever. She said
not
this round
this
I cannot
round.
vote for
Yeah,
her. And
um,
and
yeah,
you know, and Drea was sniffing it out anyways. There was a decent chance if Roxroy wasn't voted out, she still might have played her idol
yeah.
because there was a scene before Tribal saying that.
She knew something was up. Yeah.
Right. So even if the situation didn't happen at Tribal, it might have been the same results with
Mhm.
Drea playing her idol, Marianne playing her idol, Tori going home. I know a lot of people are upset with the way Tribal was handled.
I
Did
think it
you
was
have a problem?
okay. I
Did
mean,
you with the vote like the vote with wide open like that they did?
yeah,
And
no,
then
it didn't really. I mean, because we knew who once the two idols were there. I mean, we knew it was probably going to happen. To be honest, if none of that happened, I still think Tori would have went home either way. Do you agree?
yeah, because Drea, I think Drea would have played her idol, and
Yeah,
Marianne knew she was the backup plan. So if
yeah,
Drea's playing her idol for herself, she has to play her idol because just in case Drea does vote for Marianne, she can't go home with one vote.
yeah, exactly.
So and then on a revote, Lindsay was never going home. She was never in danger. The only way she was going home was if Tori got the shot in the dark.
So I'll also bring it up. like that tribal out of like Jonathan, the white people, like Jonathan, Tori, and Lindsay. I think Lindsay handled it like the
The
best
best.
by far out of all them. Like by far,
Yeah.
she shined in that situation. Like she was so like
Calm and cool, or
respectful about everything
yeah.
and calm. She wasn't like trying to like defend anything. Just was telling it how it was, and I really like. So I just think we got a shitty edit from her pre-merge, but obviously once we get into this episode, we'll see. I think
Yeah.
Lindsay's got a real good chance now, like to
I
win.
gotta let my dog in.
All good.
Stop your barking, you big baby. Hey, cut it out. But yeah, I agree. I think Lindsay definitely shined these 2 episodes, and which was good because we were talking about her 2 episodes ago. I'm like, where is she at? We haven't get
Yeah,
no edit of
where was
her.
Erica? Like I'm telling you, that might be their new way of editing. Like I think Lindsay actually has a very good chance to win now. Like I've a lot has changed in 2 episodes. Like I could see her winning.
Yeah, I agree. Um, One thing to point out, Jonathan and Drea kind of got into it a little bit at Tribal, but
Yeah,
they hashed it out.
yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, and the jury was like very moved by what Drea and Marianne did.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm half Mexican, but I'm not a black guy. You're not a black dude, so
yeah,
we don't understand. I have friends. I only know what they've told me or my interactions with them out in public and things like that.
same.
So we it's hard for us to say how it feels in that situation. All we can say is we understand from watching the show for 20 years now that we've seen it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
And you can point to a few African Americans winning. Was been 3.
maybe a couple. So let's see: Vesepia, Earl,
Jeremy,
Jeremy, fuck,
I think.
Wendell.
Oh, Window, yeah. So those 4, I think 4,
That's it. Yeah,
4. I forgot
yeah.
about Window, but yeah. So 4 out of 42 seasons. Like,
I adored all of them too.
yeah.
I love them. Yeah.
So, and it's not like we haven't got good characters either. Out of like
No,
Sean's great, Giuseppe was good, Earl was great, Jeremy was great. We've had other players that didn't win it were great too. Jervis, I'm not a big Jervis fan, but he was definitely a character on both his seasons.
Davey.
Davey, I love Davey.
I love him.
So like it's we've seen it. Like it's not on every season. Like we'd be lying if it said it's been happen every season, but it's happened majority over not. So that's what we gotta go on. But I think that's about cover it. Like I said, we think the results would have been the same regardless of what happened at
Yes,
the trial before that.
yes.
Because I think Drea did sniff it out, and she had so many advantages that would only make sense for her to play
They
her
were
idol
they were
and
too
save herself.
scared. I think they were too scared to pull it, like trigger that like round. So I think Tori was going home either way, like going in that night.
Right. And like Marianne would have been foolish to not play her idol if Dre had played her
Yeah,
idol
yeah, yeah. That's
because she was the backup plan.
yep.
She was told that by Jonathan. So Jonathan's like, I'm telling her to vote you. So like she would have to play her idol in that situation. So ultimately, I think Tori would have went home. Just none of that would have happened if Roxroy wasn't voted out. And again, Roxroy was voted out because of his own doing. Chanel was voted out because of her own doing.
Yep.
Um, we want to make that clear, but
We
this
have
has
to
been
make
a
it clear,
trend.
but we have to
It is a
also be
trend,
clear of how they feel in that situation
right?
because we're not in their shoes and they obviously have their own right to like feel that way.
Right.
And I totally respect it. So yeah.
Mhm. So I think that's covered for episode 8, and we'll just talk about tonight's episode.
Yes, sir.
And
I
it
enjoyed it
was
a lot.
I enjoyed it too. I loved the reward. The reward was so
Oh,
funny.
great challenge, yeah.
Yeah, great challenge too. It's
A
nice and
great no,
quick
just
for him.
great reward too, but
Yeah. Yeah, the rain was a big factor this episode. It was bad. It
so,
was
like, Fiji, I wish they would change the location up, but, like, Fiji's a very rainy place when they, like, do, like, so they film in, like, May and June, and, like, it's, like, a rainy season when they film, so, yeah, like,
mm,
it's a tough environment because of how much rain they get. I do
right,
wish they would go other places, but, yeah, it's not an easy place because of how much rain they get, yeah.
right. Cambodia was super rainy that
Oh,
season.
Cambodia is also way hotter too, like
Yeah, it was bad. There was, like, 4 days or 5 days straight where it rained there or something like that.
yeah.
It was awful for them. But yeah, they were all shivering and shaking getting to the reward challenge, and, uh, the stuff that happened before that really didn't
So, yeah,
nothing really
yeah.
happened.
I was gonna say you wanna bring that up because I was a little busy at work and I turned it on at like 8:02, so I only saw maybe like a couple minutes before the reward challenge, but like they didn't
Nothing really
really
happened.
nothing like notable happened
They
like
said
as soon
they
as the episode started.
No, nothing. So they get to the thing. They said, "Good job, guys, for the Roxbury vote." And then Jonathan and them show up, like, "Hey, scooch over, man." And they scooch over. And they're like, yeah, no rocks." Like, who's gone? It's like Tori. Like, makes sense. And then that was about it.
Yeah.
Marianne. Does Marianne find the idol before the reward? No, it's after
No,
reward.
no, I think
It was before.
it was before, yeah.
Yeah, so they were
Or
trying to get the
yeah,
fire going
something like
because
that.
it was raining and it put out the fire, and but they were trying to find dry s dry wood. Who did go look for originally? It
So
was
Lindsay was talking about how the weather was bad. Like, this is a great time to look for the idol because
mhm,
everyone's like just chilling. They're not really gonna go look. And she went and looked. I'm like thinking to myself, like, oh, Lindsay's about to find the idol. And Marianne does the
walked
same
right
thing.
past it. She walked right past it.
Found another idol. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the show Psych?
Yeah.
So you know how it, like, flashes when he's, like, looking at stuff? That's what they did with
Yeah.
the idol. I am surprised they put another idol in the game. They didn't do it last season.
What?
'Cause there's already an idol in the game, I don't think they need another one.
Yeah, but remember last season we didn't have any idols played either there. So
That's true.
like two were played last travel. So if a player knows that, like if me or you were playing and
Yeah,
we
we're gonna
saw
go
others
look.
played, we're gonna go look. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I get that. Like
Yeah.
Marianne and Lindsay are smart for looking for the idols.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Omar was also looking
he was too. Yeah,
with Lindsay. So we actually see Lindsay and Omar kinda become a pair this episode.
yeah.
They kinda
And
link
they
up.
always kind of have been, but I it's not been shadowed as much.
Mhm.
But they've been together since day one. Yeah,
Right. So and Jonathan was he Lindsay always seen herself with Jonathan, but Jonathan's been so shaky lately.
she's
She's
getting
like, "You know
away
what?
from that. Yeah,
I wanna vote Jonathan out." And I was, like, sitting there, I'm like, "If he doesn't win immunity," you said it earlier, I thought for some reason, I felt like High was just running this tightrope, and he kept voting off people that was loyal to him, and I just felt like it was gonna be his time eventually because, he voted out Lydia, and then Chanel, he voted out, and then he voted out
Roxbury.
Rox. So
Yeah.
all 3 of those people wanted to work with High.
High is a snake, so, like, I get that, but I am surprised that people are willing to take a chance, like, with Jonathan, like, not running like, winning everything because he's been 1st or 2nd every challenge, so, like, event I don't disagree with them. I think, like, getting rid of the strategic beast over the challenge beast might be the smart move, like, there's still 7 people left, like, is Jonathan gonna win every immunity, like, from here
Yeah.
on out? I don't know.
I think it would have been smarter for Mike and the rest of the people who are the 4 from the original Orange tribe. I forget the name of the tribe. I'm surprised they haven't.
Hockey,
Yeah, Vati. I'm surprised they let those 4 get to 7 because all if I was them, I'd vote this next round together. Then that's when you blindside Jonathan. and then you still have the numbers with 3 to 2 going into final five. But that's a risk, but it's a risk I think I'm willing to take to keep the numbers.
So I have like before we get to the end, there's I could say it now if you want me to, or we could wait to the end. But I have two people that I see winning right now.
Yeah, yeah, we'll just talk about it at the end.
Okay,
We'll do a little power ranking, our top three so far. It's probably drastically changed from
it's
last time we
major
talked.
change the last few weeks, but
Yeah,
someone's been getting like all the shine, and I think yeah,
yeah. So we get to the reward challenge, and the winner got to go to uh pretty much like a spa with some pizza, and it was real quick. They had to go up and down the obstacle course, grab a bean bag, and carry a bean bag across the beam and stuff like that. Basic survivor stuff,
yeah,
obstacle course. It was real quick. Said Jeff was like, "Hey, we gave you a quick one today." I think they did it because of the rain. They're like, "Hey, we gotta give them some easy guys. We can't do nothing crazy on them." So Lindsay wins, and she ends up taking Mike and Omer. And she says those are the Omer hasn't gone to reward yet. Neither is Mike, or he's gone to the PBJ, and that's it.
PBJ, that's it. But yeah,
Do you
but
think it was
later we
crazy?
see that Lindsay like she did choose them like strategically to everybody else like they haven't eaten, but she also wants to work with these people. So
Right,
like
right.
she does mention that. Yeah.
hmm So they they get to the reward. They get to eat the food, and they got this cool where they all of a sudden they hear like their family's voices and like what's going on, and
I
they
thought
had like
that was cool. Yeah.
yeah, they had a little projector and they showed like a bunch of pictures and little voice clips from their family. That would have been cool because like they're not gonna be able to do a family visit because of COVID reasons.
Yeah.
But it was cool to experience that because then you get to show, hey, this is my so and so. This is look at my son, look at my daughter. Like you won't be able to do that on a normal reward because you don't get stuff like that on a normal reward. So it's an extra bonding experience with that, I believe.
Yeah. So I totally agree. And I just love this reward because like we haven't really seen anything like that where like their families were on like projector screens and we just saw like
Mhm.
everything, gave them a good chance to bond. And I think it was great for Lindsay's edit because I think like they hadn't given her much strategy all along, but she spoke to her confessional and said, like, yeah, like I chose uh Omer and Mike because they haven't got many rewards, but she's like, these are also guys that I want to work with to the end and want to strategize with. So I
Right.
thought that was an important thing to like take out of it too.
Right. Yeah. She I really like her. I thought it was kind of interesting she chose Mike.
Me
Um
too. I didn't expect that at all.
I thought she would have picked somebody like a high going into this because originally I thought she was going to go after Jonathan because that was her plan going up to that point. But then Omer, oh my goodness, Omer has just been a rock star this entire merge. Um, so we get he earlier we have a confessional and said, "Hey, I think High and Mike are kind of like breaking a little bit because Mike asked High. That's something we did miss in
Yeah,
the beginning of the episode. I forgot about this, where Mike was like, "Hey, did you feel pressured on that vote?" And Omar's like, "No, I like," he didn't say it to him, but, he said in the confession, like, "No, I got exactly what I wanted." But he's like, "I think I see an opening where I could steal Mike from High." And that's when he throws he makes up this
yeah,
lie and says, "Look, I need to tell you something, Mike, but, like, I was always so scared to tell you, but I feel like we're really bonding here, so I'm gonna tell you. High said that he has you in his back pocket, that he got you controlled. You do whatever he says, da da da. And Mike's like, oh, I can't believe him. He broke my trust. I felt that way too, da da da. When all this, and Omer's like, I made all that up. He never told me that.
yeah.
And he
So,
falls.
all right. So my thing, I'll put my 2 cents in here. So
Yeah,
Omar did make that up. Like High never said that to Mike, but High totally thought that about Mike. Like he, even if he never said that to Omer, High thought that he had Mike in his back pocket and he would do whatever he said. So like it was a very smart thing for Omer to say to Mike, like because it was even though he never said it, it was so believable,
Yeah,
and he got him to completely buy it right away.
and
And
his read,
I think it was true too, but like he never like obviously never
yeah,
actually said it to
his
him, but
read on that situation was
was
just
so
so
good,
good,
so good.
and not a lot of players can notice those things
Yep.
like that. And he picked it up and said, "Ooh, there's a little friction. Just let me rub that friction a little bit more and see what happens." And that's exactly what he did. And then Lindsay told them about her amulet, which I didn't totally agree with. I think that was a mistake on Lindsay's part.
Uh, So if she knew that High was gonna get voted out tonight, that could help her, I think, though.
Yeah,
So
but like Drea and her are really close.
there
That could hurt your relationship with Drea.
are Drea and Lindsay that close? Like, do we know that?
I don't know. I feel like they have a good relationship.
They do, and I feel like Lindsay. So this is what I'm gonna come out and say it right now. I think Lindsay just got a shit at it pre-merge because they don't like people that might win to like be super obvious. I think Lindsay's playing like one of the best games at the like completely changed from like 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
I think she's got a great chance to make it to the end.
Yeah, I think she does too. I don't know, like, I personally, I wanna keep all my advantages in-house, um, and keep it to myself. I only tell, like, my number 1 ally, but, like, Mike is just like, actually, somebody like Mike probably won't say anything, but somebody like if it was, like, a high or something,
I yeah
they go tell everybody.
yeah
Romeo would
yeah
go tell
yeah.
everybody. So, I don't know, I guess so. Me personally wouldn't have said nothing, but it's not the end of the world. Um So we get to the immunity challenge, and it's another balancing one. I got no balance. I'd be so bad at these
No,
challenges.
I wouldn't be great either. Yeah,
They have it's the one where they have like the little rack and they have to balance a ball on it. And they're standing on this on the little perch and
if
they
I
gotta go
wasn't
the
on the
wall.
perch, I think I might do all right. But the perch, yeah,
I got fat feet, man.
yeah, same, same.
So um it comes down to Jonathan and Lindsay
Lindsay,
again,
yeah,
and Lindsay ends up winning. And she was at that point, she was ready to do Jonathan, but Omer and Mike had different agendas. They wanted to do
hi.
high. So we get to the beach, and it seemed like everybody was down to do high. There was like no like fight back to save high.
Seemed like a unanimous vote on high, but that seems always too good to be true. And then like he still ends up being the one voted out. So I'm like, once they said all that, I'm like, all right, well, it's not going to be high tonight. It's going to
Yeah.
be Jonathan. And then yeah, but
I think they just changed that part to throw it in there just so that way we had a little question. I really don't think it got that close to doing Jonathan. I think it was tossed around in Omer's head a little bit, but overall, I think it was going to be high, and it was probably planted pretty early. And High tries to lie to Jonathan and says, "Don't, dude. I just found the idol. So if it's you,
oh,
I got you."
that was such a bad play by High. Like
Oh, he's
that.
like,
Look,
"Don't play your shot in the
no,
dark."
if you're desperate, you're not telling somebody who's obviously like gunning for you, gonna vote for you. Oh yeah, like I have the idol. Like even at camp, like before, like obviously you're like not telling the truth. Like if he actually had the idol, he's not gonna say anything to them. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's not
yeah,
gonna say
like
shit. So it was a bad play, and it was just one of those things that Survivor likes to do. They like to make their people who's getting voted out look like dummies on the way
yeah.
out.
Oh
And
yeah, and so also like tonight they gave High like they do like the little flashback things like to their childhood
mhm,
like because he was like Vietnamese and like
yeah,
I guess yeah so they did that for him tonight and I'm like as soon as I saw that I'm like yeah High is getting going out tonight or like next vote like he's not getting better than 7th place because they've already done this for a lot of people and they never did it for him. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it we get the tribal and some things were said, but nothing crazy. But there was something that Lindsay said that kind of made Jonathan a little weary. Is like she's like, I
Oh
think we're
yeah,
after this
oh yeah.
vote, it's gonna be a little more balanced and even
Even
for everyone.
playing field.
Even playing field, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't like, and Jonathan's like, I don't know what she means by that, and freaked him out a little bit. I think that was a little immunity-itis on her part, getting a little
Yep.
loose lips because she has immunity.
That's like
eh,
yeah. So me and you wouldn't know as much because we don't win as many
Immunity
games.
stuff.
But like people who have immunity get a bit cocky
Oh,
sometimes. Like
yeah.
they a bit loose lipped. Like they will just say stuff. Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to win immunity that often, so when I do,
Me
I'm like,
neither. Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands at that point. I'm like, "What do
But
I
the
do now?"
people who do, like, they're, like, very, like, cocky with their
Mhm.
tribal, like, answers and stuff sometimes, like, yeah.
Yeah, and this vote just shows that Romeo has no idea what's going on in the game. Uh,
No power, no idea, like, if he gets
mm,
to the end, he's gonna be to at this point, to me, he's a 0 vote finalist, like
he's either gonna be 0 vote or he's gonna be Final 4 fire making loser.
and my other thing too is, like, I think Mike has played a good game, but his strategic game has lacked a couple times, and I think his jury management a little. Like, I think some of these people are, like, really pissed. Like, Chanel and Roxroy, like, you think they would vote for Mike?
Nope, and then he just blindsided High,
Exactly. I'm like, I'm trying to see where he would win, and I'm like, I don't know.
and he wasn't very cool with Tori, so it's like,
Exactly.
I
I
I
think
think
Mike
his
has played it.
relationships are still in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mike has played a good game, but his jury management hasn't been great, so I don't see how he could win that way.
I feel like Jonathan and his stock these last 2 episodes have dropped a lot.
Yeah, and I don't see Dre like so that puts me with like right now, I think Lindsay and Omer, I could
Are
see one
clear
of them two
favorites.
winning. Yeah.
I think those are the I think Drea's 3rd, in my opinion. I think Dre is 3rd. She has too much firepower, and Marianne's 4th. That's the way
Yeah.
I think I have the top 4. Marianne just found another
To
idol.
be
She's gonna have a
honest,
lot of screen
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
People like
She's played a
her.
good game,
Yeah, she's played a
definitely.
pretty decent game.
I think everyone besides Romeo left has, but like I think Mike has just bit himself in the ass with the jury, but he's
Yeah,
played the best social game so far
mhm,
out of anybody, but it's gonna be hard for him to win.
right.
I think, like based on what the show has showed you, a strategy. If Omar can get to the end, like, dude,
He might be one of the greatest winners ever.
this guy has played a, he's played like a Rob Sesternino like
Nino,
game,
yeah,
dude, like middle, playing the middle so perfectly, like he's in
yeah.
the majority alliance, but the outsiders are
You think
convinced that he's with
he's
them,
not?
and they have no clue. Like
Yo, I've never seen somebody control a vote with no vote.
he's
No,
controlled every vote from the
for
merge too. Like,
pretty much, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, it's it's Omar, like, I'm trying to not to get ahead of myself, but if he wins at this current pace he's on an all-time great pace.
I would love to see it because I just hope they don't like see it because we're down to
My
7. So like
my biggest fear is him getting to the end and him losing.
this is what I see happening to him, which sadly, but I'm just predicting it. I feel like he's gonna go out in the fire making challenge.
Oh, that'd be
That's
so heartbreaking.
that's what I feel like, and we're gonna
Oh,
be heartbroken, and then we're gonna get it shitty your final 3
yeah.
where he would
So
beat
I think
everybody.
I think Drea has a good chance because she has so much advantages,
Oh, of course, but her social game hasn't been
top tier. But
as good, but
I think people are shooting themselves in the foot while she keeps cool, calm, collective
yep,
manner,
that's
which helps
understandable.
her.
Yeah.
and like Jonathan is shooting himself in the foot, where he was never gonna go before her, but he keeps doing stuff himself. Same thing with High. High did the same thing. You can't only vote off your allies so many times before people are like, "Man, you're a snake." Like you literally said, "I went to Rocks for Lydia," and then voted her out. Then you told Roxroy, "Don't worry, we got you, guys alliance. I'm with you, bro." Then voted him out. Then you know, it's just like you can't keep doing that. You can't. You vote
So
out Chanel when Chanel was like,
so
"Look, Hi, I
it's
have
so hard
nobody
to
else."
say because we got 7 people left, but, like, uh, let's give a final 3 scenario.
Okay,
So, Drea, Lindsay, Romeo, final 3. Who wins? Drea or Lindsay?
I, I feel like Dre would win.
I do, but I feel like Lindsay has more
I and in
athletics.
that
If she plays
situation, I feel like Omar would deserve to win, and I think he'd get one vote.
I didn't say Omar was even in that. If Omar, in my opinion, if he's in the end, he deserves to win because I think he's literally
I'm
like
I would rather see him go out at the final four make fire making challenge than him lose a jury vote.
I don't think he would lose it though. I think
I'm just terrified. I don't know why. I have this gut feeling he's gonna get there and then lose it somehow.
get screwed. No way.
Yeah, I think that,
No, he's played too good.
that would just damper the whole season for us.
That would no. Like if I'm telling you, I like Mike the most, but if Omar is played the best, like Mike
By
or
far the
Omar,
best.
what did you say?
By far the best.
Omar, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like
So
Mike though? Like, I mean,
I do like Mike. I just feel like he really got exposed these last two
he needs
rounds.
the right final 3 to win.
Yes. Like with the Roxroy vote, he didn't want to do that. He stated
Nope.
that many times, and he lost that battle,
It's had
and
it's
it made it
happened to
look
him
like
a couple times already.
right. And then Omar just ran circles around him this
Omar
episode.
Omar's running circles around everybody though, so
Yeah, that's true, but it was prominent in the episode for Mike. you know, it was like a good 5-10 minute segment, and they like highlighted it. So it's hard to get that out of your mind when you see that.
oh yeah, I don't think Mike is winning. I
No.
think I would hope Omar wins, but like I don't know.
I just feel
But
like something's gonna happen where, like, if he, so we, or let's might as well just talk about it. The do or die twist is coming back for sure.
fucking yeah, I know. We gotta talk about that now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Next,
coming back for sure,
oh,
and
of course,
I'm
yeah.
so mad about it because he's like, "This is what happened." Like, why mess up a final seven vote? Like, why are you doing this, Survivor? It's so
What have you said for 5 months, Frank? This
oh
season
41.5.
41.5. Yeah. Like they're gonna do the same bullshit twist, even though like I
Yeah,
hate it.
I hope you guys are ready for it because when they do 43 and 44, it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah.
They're gonna do, they it won't be the same as 42 and 41, but 43 will lay out a blueprint and 44 will follow that blueprint.
Yeah.
That because they're not doing themes no more because they have to film the way they gotta film because of COVID stuff.
I heard
They're
44 might be returnees though, so
yeah, I feel like that if it's not 44, 45,
yeah, one of the next either
3 seasons.
44 or 45 will be returnees, but
Mhm.
yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a do or die twist. If I'm if I'm Omer, I'm not going to that challenge.
No, fuck no. If
Ugh.
he went
If
out
he
because of do
doesn't
or
goes
die
that
twist,
way,
yeah.
ugh,
Mike,
ugh.
like I was saying, like I think Jonathan and Lindsay should be the only ones who actually
No,
want to do the
if you're
challenge.
Romeo, you have to
Why though?
because he literally just got blindsided in a vote again. He feels on the outs.
I know, but like, who's wants to get rid of him now? Because he is nobody.
Yeah, but he has no idea what's going on. Like he's been left out of how many votes this merge? I think he's only been part of the Roxroy vote, and
Yeah, but
that's
like
it.
you got Jonathan still in the game, and you're gonna get rid of Romeo
Yeah,
instead
but
of
I'm just
Jonathan.
trying to
Like,
think from
come
his
on.
point of view, his
Yeah,
head. He's thinking he's like, I gotta win this. So, because if that was me, I would participate. But anybody else, I'm not doing it.
yeah, and you saw like Deshaun got lucky, but like that
It's
you
not gonna
gotta
happen again.
with yeah, it's not, and I mean it's just it's such a fucking bad twist, but I mean whatever. I mean,
Yeah, it's
they're
definitely
dumb
gonna
if
happen.
they do it. So I mean, just don't do it. That's what
Ever
I'm
again,
saying.
please.
Especially
Ever
when you have
again.
Jonathan and Lindsay in the game. Like if you're last in the challenge, you're out. Like big 2 out of 3 chance you're out. Like just don't do the challenge. I mean, come on.
Yeah, please just don't
Yeah.
do it. Omer, you know, please just don't do it, Omer. Drea, I wouldn't do if I was Drea. She has so much firepower in her arsenal.
Omer is too smart too. I think and like I said, he's playing the best game, so he won't
Right,
hopefully. Because that's
right.
like I don't think Mike is winning, so I think if Omer like plays on his trajectory, that he would be such a great winner. Like I'm rooting for him. Yeah,
Yeah. Like I said, he's right now going on an all-time great
yeah,
trajectory.
yeah.
Because some of the things we've seen him do. Yeah, the vote was everybody voted for High except for Romeo and High. They voted for Jonathan. So it's just yeah. Um but yeah, I mean that pretty much covered. I mean, it was a fun episode. A blindside. High took it on the chin like a champ, which was awesome. He was very blindsided, but he took it like he was very happy and was like, "Good job, guys! I had no idea it was coming," and he had a good time with it, which is all you can ask for.
So I like that High went out with like class. Like that's how I want to go out. That's what he said. He's like, "Good job, guys." Like he wasn't like a prick about it. I mean, like, yeah, he understood it was a good move. Like, yeah, the guy was playing like a sneaky, like a game, and from the start, like, yeah, they made a good move.
I
Should they
feel
have
like
gotten rid of Jonathan instead, though? That's my. What do you think?
I, uh, like I said, I feel like if I was Mike or somebody like Mike, Romeo, Drea, they probably should have Jonathan because that Vati 4 is still in the game.
Yep.
That would terrify me if I'm one of these other people because yeah, like yes, people are saying they want to get rid of Jonathan, but how easy is it to say, "Hey, let's just do one more vote together, guys"?
So I also think like the fact that there's been like 4 individual immunity challenges already.
Hmm.
Jonathan only won one. It's like chances of him winning out, like with the diversity of the challenges, are less. That's what I think factored into that a lot more. If they were more physical challenges,
Yeah,
I think he would have been going. But
for
yeah.
sure. I feel like he's shown weakness in the balancing challenges.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because
So
if you're a big dude, like that's not easy. Yeah,
no, he had trouble even standing on that final little ledge on the immunity challenge. So
yeah.
yeah, I feel like Omer is number one right now, and Lindsay's number two for me. Dre
By
is number
far
three.
playing the best games. Yeah,
Marianne's four. I feel like Marianne's a dark horse. She could sneak in there and win
who's number
somehow.
3?
Drea. I just feel like she has such an easy way to get there with all her advantages.
Yeah,
That getting there is half the battle, and I think Romeo's the only one at this point who has zero chance of winning.
I
Like
still like
there's
Mike, but
yeah, I think Mike has just shown so much weakness. Like High
his
is gonna
social game is so good though.
yeah. I just feel like Omar's gonna go if he
His
goes to the jury.
strategic game is bad though. Yeah,
If he goes to the jury, he's gonna tell him like, "Look, I ran circles around Mike. Mike did
yeah.
this because I told him to." Or if he's on the final three with him, he's gonna explain how he outplayed Mike,
So
and
I'll
he's
say
gonna
Mike isn't gonna win, but he's gonna return for a season.
oh for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. I just feel like he wears his emotions on his sleeve sometimes
Oh
too
yeah,
much.
like with the Chanel thing, like
Yeah, you gotta let
she
it go,
waited
bro.
for. Yeah,
You gotta let
yeah.
it go because I ultimately voting off two people from your tribe at the beginning of the merge is not good.
No, and I knew that right away, and I was like very like skeptical, and I'm like, Mike is just so willing. Like he thinks his social game's that good, but like it is, but like strategic. You have to think strategically too. Like, and I feel like he just didn't ignored like the strategic factor a few times.
Right. And I look at I look at it and it's just like there's certain points where people can point out where they successfully outplayed Mike, and Mike is a great guy, but I feel like when it comes like why'd you do this move? Well, because so and so told me this. Because so and so told me that. I feel like that if he answers questions like that, he's gonna lose for sure.
Yeah, and like I really think I think, to be honest, based on the edit, I think Lindsay's winning the game right now.
Yeah,
I think they're going the Erica route where they like to hide their winner like pre-merge, and I think she's very much shined like the last
that
like.
would be crazy. When's the last time we had back to back female winners? Was it Sophie
I would love it. I like
Kim?
Lindsay a lot.
Was it Sophie and Kim was the last two back to
Yeah,
back female
yeah,
winners? That
23 and
was in the
24.
20s.
Yep. That was like
Jeez.
10 years ago. Yeah.
So they could be a huge thing that happens this season
Yeah.
if
I would.
Lindsay or
Dude, I'm Team Lindsay almost now. Like, yeah.
like I there's still a lot to be seen. The do or die can really fuck one of
There's
these
still a lot of
people.
people I really like left, but I mean, I think, like I said,
I think there's less outcomes. Like I just don't want to see somebody lose to somebody who didn't deserve to beat them. That's the only thing don't ask. And I
yeah,
hope this do or die twist doesn't affect, but it's gonna affect the game. That's the problem because whoever, if you survive it somehow, you're safe then. So like, it's gonna affect the game regardless. I'm just frustrated with that thing.
just be smart and just don't do the challenge.
Just don't do the challenge.
That's
What if
all I say.
what if everyone sits out but Jonathan and he just wins immunity and no choice?
You know, I could see it.
That would
But
be dope.
what would be most fucked is that if it's him and one other person, and
Mm.
whoever's against him doesn't win, and they go out because of like, oh, like if Lindsay, I would be so mad.
But yeah, I think that's about covered this week. We're gonna get on our cases again here soon. A lot of crazy things happen with all our lives, so when we can kind of get in the way.
Yeah,
I just think it's crazy that we're watching this season, and it has some parallels with Marquesas that happened
of
what,
course, yeah. But
almost
do
40,
you
35
generally
seasons ago.
generally do you like 42 though, like we've said?
Yes,
Because I
yes,
do.
yes.
And
I generally like it. I think the
did you
cast
like
has been
41
amazing.
that much? Mhm.
I think 41. I think 42 is
41
by
was alright.
41
42 is
was all
better.
right. For 42's been good. I feel
Yes.
like the the cast in 41 there was like high like people stood out really far, but
We had
42 everyone's standing out.
so
We've had less people not
41,
stand up,
my theory, like 41, we had like the Shan and Ricard, who like everyone really liked. Guess
and then
Danny maybe.
Deshaun stood out a little bit too,
Danny and
but
Deshaun.
for the wrong way,
I
for the
liked
wrong
Deshaun a
reasons.
lot earlier on, but towards the end, not really. But like this cast, like very good so far. Like
Yeah, very
besides
good.
Romeo, I think other people left. We're at
Yeah,
final seven. I think all the other people are like people that could return. So yeah,
even people we lost early, like Zach was a character.
the first two, yeah,
Lydia was good.
yeah,
Um, who else did we lose early on?
Jenny,
We lost was it Shanti? She was good.
yeah.
I thought she was fun.
Even
She was
Daniel. What about Daniel?
Daniel was amazing. I love
Yeah,
Daniel.
I love
But
him.
you know what I'm saying? We had so many characters that like if they would have made it far, would we have been upset? No,
No,
because we would have got to see more of these people.
no,
And
40,
Romeo
40,
was so great in the pre-merge. It's so shocking to see where he's at now.
42 cast was so better than 41.
Yes, from top to bottom,
When
this could
wow,
be and this could be definitely around the top 10 all-time newbie casts around there.
I
15.
totally with that.
I don't know if it's top 5 because that's upper echelon, but it's close to it. It's close to
Yeah,
top 10, I'd say. From what we've seen. I hope it really sticks to landing with these last couple of episodes to do it. Hopefully, to do it die twist. Don't do anything stupid to mess up the flow of the game. And
yeah, all better
and
sit out.
right, and we hope. I hope
All
we don't
better
get a.
sit out.
I just hope we don't get a bitter jury. I just hope we don't get a bitter jury.
Yeah, I can
So
see
those are the
that
two.
too.
Those are the two things that I'm worried about
Oh,
going it towards these last couple episodes.
of
Um,
course.
but uh, I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm really like invested. Uh, I I
Same.
would I would love for like 3/4 of this cast to come back and play again. It
Oh
wouldn't
my
surprise.
god! Like, so I've already said I would love Mike, uh, Omar, Marianne, uh,
Lindsay,
Lindsay,
Jonathan is all locked to come back if he
Jonathan,
wants
like
to play.
all of them, like bring them all back. Like
Bring it
I
all.
love
Drea would be a lock to
it.
play if she
Rhea,
wanted to play
yeah,
again. You could even, like I said, the people we talked about the pre-merge. Lydia was
and
good when she was.
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel was great. Like he was awful at the game, but he was great
It
TV.
was TV, yeah.
Yeah. Um. So like you
That's
could have
just
brought.
fucking fantastic, yeah.
Right, you could have definitely bring back probably 5 people from the pre-merge alone, 4 people from the pre-merge alone, and then most of the merge. I think the only people who you wouldn't like to see again would be Roxroy because he just didn't really bring much, and maybe Romeo because Romeo really fall flat on his face.
Not either of
And
them.
even if he came back, it wouldn't be like, ugh, why is he back? Like, because he did show promise at the beginning.
Yeah,
Uh,
after the merge, yeah, bad, but
yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, I think, like I said, this could be as a one of going towards a really great cast. Um, it's really hard to predict that without actually really looking at it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But but I would have for sure thought people from there would have been so much David and versus Goliath people to play again, but we haven't got that,
We'll
which is just
get some of
stunning.
them though, yeah, but
Which because they haven't returning season, but you would have seen that cast. You would have thought, what was it been? Was it 37? Right?
yeah.
So that was 5 seasons ago. You would have thought some of them would have came back by now, but they haven't had an opportunity
They haven't
to.
had any, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But like you would have been like, man, they would have made a season for them to come back by now. But I'm shocked they haven't. Like if they do a second chance, it wouldn't surprise me if they had like 4 people or 5 people from this cast and 4 or 5 people from David versus Goliath.
Not be shocked at all. That could totally be the case for 44 or 45.
Yeah, like Christian has an open invitation.
Yeah.
Like if he wants to play again, he'll play again. But
And
I don't know if he wants
Davey,
to.
I think Davey too.
Davey too, yeah. So, uh, so yeah, and I would love to. I know you're not a big Angelina fan, but I'd love Angelina to play
No,
again.
I like it. No, I like
Oh,
Angela
it's
a lot.
Mike that doesn't like
That's
her.
Michael, yeah.
Yeah, Michael doesn't like it. I
No,
love
I'm a
Angelina.
huge Angelina fan.
But that about covers it for us about season 42, episode 8 and 9. We're really enjoying this season. I think the episodes have only gotten better. I think there's only been like 1 or 2 dud episodes, but other
At
than that, it's
the
been a
most, yeah. Like maybe
pretty good
one
sized thing.
pre-merge, then maybe
Yeah,
like the
the Mariah vote was just
2 week
so
the Chanel vote.
the Chanel vote. Yep, I'd
Yeah.
say the Mariah vote and the Chanel
Yeah.
vote have been kind of
Besides that, it's been gold.
does, but other than that, it's been blindsides and great gameplay, and it's just been really fun to see. So, uh, let us know what you guys think. Give us a like, subscribe, it means a lot to us. Do you think we're being a little too high on the season, or are you guys enjoying it? Just let us know. We'll talk to you guys soon with Survivor Marquesas. Have a good day. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I think most people like it.